If you've not been living under a rock, you would have heard something about the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry interview with Oprah, and you might have been maybe on her side, not on her side, and I'm just here to give a neutral perspective to this and really give my opinion because I have a couple of opinions about this. So, I'm going to reverse back to middle of pandemic when they announced that they're resigning their royal duties and moving to Canada. The first thought that came to my mind was, okay, it makes sense for them to move to Canada. Canada is a Commonwealth country, meaning that they still have deep ties with Britain, and it makes sense as royals to move to Canada. And they said they were moving to Vancouver, and I was like, Vancouver is kind of like the Los Angeles of, California of Canada. You are able to get some job opportunities if you want to act, if you want some, if you want to be in that sort of working environment. So I was like, okay, kind of makes sense. They're looking for some sort of, a different vibe from the US, and Canada is kind of like in the middle of Britain and the US in terms of that. And then they moved to Cali, and I was just kind of sort of suspicious. And I was like, wow, like, aren't these people looking to, get some peace and all that stuff? Like, why are you moving to Cali? Like, why are you moving to California where there's a lot of, there's all the paparazzi action. There's so many things that goes into that that goes into moving to Cali as such a famous high status couple. And then fast forward to all of this interview stuff, and I feel like this is just, in my mind, putting to light that Meghan really was not well informed about what it would be like to be a royal. She maybe thought it would be all glamorous, tiaras and drinking tea all day, and not the fact that it's actually hard work to be under such a scrutiny. She was kind of sort of famous, not really famous. You would have only known her if you were interested in watching Suits, or if you ever watched Suits. She wasn't really that famous, so I don't think she got that much attention. So becoming a princess, and one that actually broke a record in that sense of being the only or the first Black princess in Britain, that probably gave her so much exposure in terms of like paparazzi and people being in her business and people talking about her, people not liking her, because quite frankly, there are people who don't like people of color, and it sucks, and it doesn't make sense as to why people wouldn't like people for their skin color, but there are people who are that way. So she probably got more scrutiny because of that. But putting that aside and really acknowledging that might have been her reality, and I'm pretty sure it was her reality while living in that palace, I do also think that Meghan was not ready to serve, because the entire thing about being a royal is serving. There's a lot of service work that goes into that, and I feel like people were able to sniff that out. People were able to sniff it out, which was why maybe she was in some sort of friction with Kate, because when Kate and William got together, they've been together for a long time. They met in college, and that was how they got together. So I feel like Kate had more of an idea of what it meant to be in that position, and she had time to prepare herself for that role. However, Meghan and Harry literally got married, engaged, everything was almost within a year. And I feel like she only liked the idea. She didn't really like the reality. She was stuck on the idea of being a royal, being the first Black princess, all those things, and she didn't really understand that it was going to be difficult, which was why I think that it hit her really hard, and she went into this big depressive mode, as she revealed on the interview with Oprah. And I kind of feel like maybe she wasn't being completely honest about everything, and especially the fact that Kate was really mean and a bully to her, because I do feel like you know, when you're in a disagreement with someone, you're perceiving something and they're perceiving something, and there's really the truth in the middle. So I feel like maybe she was also not the best to work with, and that's just what it was, and that's just what it was, because people are able to sense ingenuity and not being really open and honest with your intentions in that way, because I do feel like it was too fast of a get together between both of them, given that it was such a high status marriage, given all the stuff that was at stake. I feel like she thought about, oh, my kids will be set for life and all that stuff, and my kids will be royals, and my kids blah blah blah, and you know, I'll be this, never, you know, such a high status position, coming from an actress on a TV show to that position. It's kind of a high jump, and there were a lot of things that were abnormal about this, because for one, she wasn't from England. Number two, she is a person of color. Number three, she's a divorcee. So there was just so many things. And I feel like as a protective family, they might have been like, Harry, are you sure that you are all up for this? Are you sure that this is the person that you want to marry, and someone that could work well as, you know, a royal and could serve and all of that? I'm pretty sure they were thinking about things from that perspective as well. Needless to say, my final opinion is that I don't think she was ready. I don't think she was in the right mind space going into this position as a service-oriented position. Yeah, and that is all. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you agree, and if you disagree, let me know in the comment section down below why you do disagree with me, and you know, we could take it from there. Bye.